Okay, hello everybody, welcome to this video. In this video I wanted to see which socks are the best for hiking, and I'm not particularly looking at the brands, I'm looking at the composition of the socks. So, you know, from all the way from wool to cotton and more synthetic and other materials, and just to see which one would be the best for hiking. Now, I did the West Highland Way, and I was going to walk it in about 9 to 10 days, so I figured if I bring 5 different types of socks and I'll wear them about 2 days each, I'll probably find out which one would be the best. I will also put a diagram at the end with all the prices and the different materials, etc. So you can look at it in your own time and maybe decide for yourself what you would like. I also did a drying test. That didn't add up too much, but I'll tell you the conclusions anyway. Alright, so let's go to the different socks that I bought. We have 33% cotton. The other materials are then, of course, all kinds of nylons that they use with different properties, stretchiness and resistant to wear and stuff. But the main component is then, in this case, 33% cotton. We have Lyocell, 33%. That is basically a tensile kind of material, or viscose. It is a wood pulp, cellulose material that they make into a fiber. It's a lot environmental friendlier than cotton and other materials, and has a lot of good properties in comparison to cotton. Then we have 18% wool. And then we go up in the wool, 52% wool and up to 70% wool. So these are the socks that I tried. And let's go to some footage of me swapping them over on the West Highland Way in Scotland. Okay, so testing the socks. The first pair was the 33% cotton, and after 2 days they are still a bit damp. It was very hot. It was 29 degrees Celsius yesterday. Today about 25, I guess. So it was pretty hot, but they dry relatively fast, but they get a little wet. Okay, from today and tomorrow I'll be switching to 18% wool socks, and the rest, of course, is all kinds of polyester, just like the other one, and see if the wool is a little bit better than the cotton. Okay, I started out with cotton, and this was the 18% wool sock from the same brand, Human Nature, and I can tell you there was not much difference between the cotton and the 18% wool. They were also a little bit damp, so not much difference. And now I'm going to switch to another sock. This is from Valke, and this one has 33% Lyocell. So let's see how that performs. Okay, so yesterday and today I'm wearing the 52% wool socks. Yesterday I had the Lyocell, the other stuff, which I like very much, and so far this is going good as well. Okay, last part of the West Highland Way. We're near Fort Williams, and the last day I'm wearing the 70% wool socks to see how they're doing, and we're almost there, and then we can jump to the conclusion. Alright, let's go. So we're gonna put them in a bucket of water, soak them really wet, like that would be maybe happening on a trail. It did happen to me on the West Highland Way. You know, you think you have your feet pretty good covered, but then you have to cross a small river, and you know, you're up to your knees in the water anyway, and no way that you're gonna keep your socks dry. And anyway, just to see if they can dry overnight. Okay, so I made them as dry as possible, and I put them on the washing thing to dry. So they're all wet. They're all wet to the touch. You wouldn't put them on, I think. And this is just call it 0 hours, and I'm gonna check every few hours to see how they're drying, and I'll show you the results in a diagram later. Okay, so in conclusion, after wearing these socks and doing all kinds of tests, I came to the following. These cotton socks, they really don't do very well. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not great hiking socks. I mean, they get wet really fast. They don't breathe that great. So, you know, that is that. As you go up in the wool percentages or other materials, you lose the synthetic materials relatively. And the synthetic materials actually give you the shape and the stretchiness and the different compartments like the toe box and the heel, and they have different properties. So the higher the synthetic materials, the better the fit in general. So I found, for instance, the 70% wool, first of all, is very thick. They become really thick in your shoes, and you can move around a little bit because it's so massive, and it doesn't really have a sort of like a shape. I mean, a little bit, but not much. So you always feel like it's a little bit of like an overkill. Maybe in the winter these would be fine, but as sort of like summery hiking socks, they are really too thick and yeah, don't really offer any benefits in my opinion. So the cotton is out and the wool 70% is out. Not that they're bad, but just in my opinion in Scotland. I think the Lyocell did really well. It outperformed my expectations. It's pretty breathable. It takes the moist out pretty good and it's still very comfortable. It has the shape and also you know, the compactness. It's thin enough yet thick enough to be somewhat of a quality. And 80% wool, yeah, that really didn't do it either. I mean, not bad, they have a great shape, but the 18% wool doesn't really do much in my opinion. Doesn't really benefit me over cotton, maybe a little bit. Over Lyocell, no, the Lyocell performed better. But then again, maybe if you would do 30% wool, that would be like a sweet spot as well. So in my final conclusion, I can say these two perform the best. 30% Lyocell does pretty well, and the 50% wool is also a very great option. It is just a midway between everything. It has decent shape and form because of the synthetics, the nylons and the lycra and all that stuff, and it has the wool to regulate the moist and keep you nice and comfortable and regulate the temperature. So my favorite ones are the 50% wool. And a very close second is the Lyocell. I don't know if the 33% is the sweet spot. Maybe also 50%. I don't know. But as far as I can tell, if you're looking for a great hiking sock that performs really well, then these are great picks. In terms of drying, yeah, they none of them dry within 24 hours, 18 to 24 hours. So, you know, that doesn't really make a difference much. But as a tip, if you dry them, put them up with the toe up. Because if you do that, the water will go down. And then in the morning, at least the top will be somewhat dry. And most of the water will be here, the rest of the water. And, you know, they're good to go. Well, that was my conclusion. Now, thanks for watching and I hope it helped. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.